Probably the most important game on the docket for both teams gathered here today, but especially for the home team. Inside a Bostic Gymnasium here in Danville, Indiana, it's the Indiana Lions playing host to the Clarksville Phoenix for the ABA Midwest Region Championship. Good afternoon, everybody. Alongside Antoine Wynn, I'm Kurt Darling. Especially thanks to all of you for joining us here today on the ISC Sports Network. Antoine, good to be with you here for the final time in the Perch inside a Bostic Gymnasium. Big game for both of these teams today.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. This is going to be a great up-tempo type of basketball game. These guys know each other very well, and the best team will prevail.
Indeed they will, and certainly the home crowd here hoping that that team is in fact the Indiana Lions. There you see Gerald Campbell. He has been the star of the show for the Indiana Lions so far for the back half of this season. He has averaged nearly 30 points in the last 5 games for this team here this season.
Yeah, Gerald is the backbone. He's Mr. Everything. I called him the LeBron James of the ABA. He does everything, and he's very methodical, and he's very efficient.
But he's going to be going up against a very tough player in his own regard, that being Jamario Rivers, number 2 for Clarksville Phoenix. He played at the University of Memphis back in his college days, now taking his talents here with the Clarksville Phoenix. And this is a Clarksville team 11-6 on the year overall, but they beat the Indiana Lions once, but then Indiana was able to get them back on the road during the regular season.
Yeah, Clarksville is a very good team. You spoke of Mr. Jamario Rivers, played at the University of Memphis, and he also played for Mr. Tubby Smith. And he had an extensive career overseas as well. So he's very experienced. And the last time they were here, I recall them beating the Lions, and he was a big part of that.
Little perspective on what is at stake in this contest. It is a trip to the National ABA Tournament representing the Midwest region. The Indiana Lions did it once before back in 2021. They're going to try and do it again here today for 2023. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll get starters, keys to the game, and the opening tip. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Hello, Lions family. It's me, Gio, again. I just want to dedicate this whole weekend to all of the fans and the family and all of our sponsors as well that come along, and they're not just family. They actually come to the games and show that they're family. They volunteer to help. They're in the pictures. They're helping clean up. They're greeting people as they come in the door. And that's why we try to go out and reciprocate that same thing and come back and show everyone love. So can we all meet up at Dairy Queen this weekend and just show them some love? If you can't, that's fine. I know it is going to be cold. But if you want to come out, meet me over there. And the first 5 people that go over there per car, I will give them an Indiana Lions shirt. Just don't fight me over it. Let's just get some good ice cream, and I'll see you guys there. Oh, and shout out to Imagine Me Body also. Make sure you hit up Nurse T and check out the locker room where we get all of our sporting good apparel. This week's pregame show is brought to you by
Get a little bit of brass play right there for the national anthem here inside a Bostic Gymnasium here in Danville, the host site of the ABA Midwest Regional Championship here on the ISC Sports Network. You see the banner right there, Antoine Wynn. North Central Region champions back in 2021. The Indiana Lions trying to repeat here in the Midwest region here in 2023.
Yes, I think they have a good chance. They have a solid team, and most of these guys have been together for a long time, and that's very important when you have players who've been together for a long time. They know each other's basketball game.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups here today. First, starting with the Clarksville Phoenix being introduced right now. You see, again, Jamario Rivers going to be one of the big dynamo players that you're going to be seeing a lot of today. Tremont Moore as well right there on your screen, introduced with this Clarksville Phoenix squad. 23 in the nation in the ABA Power Rankings, 11-6 on the season. Now, let's turn your attention to the home team. The Indiana Lions going to be going with their different lineup again at this time. Jordan Heidelberg, T. Williams, as well as Leon Tillman, Jackson Stone, and of course, your favorite Antoine Wynn, Gerald Campbell.
Yes, Gerald Campbell. He's one of the best.
And of course, Jackson Stone and Leon Tillman, only late season additions to this Indiana Lions roster. for a good reason as well here, Antoine Wynn. The Indiana Lions have actually had to get rid of a couple of players. Of course, not exactly get rid, but rather see them off to greater pastures because Dylan Ware and Alex Brown now have signed with the Lebanon Leprechauns in the basketball league. They added a lot of scoring, a lot of dynamic athleticism to this team. How do you make up for something like that?
Well, they have to do that by committee. So Gerald Campbell has a lot on his shoulders. Tillman has to come in and protect the basket along with Jackson Stone. So they have some pieces there, but not exactly what they lost, but everybody has to do it by committee.
There is Tracy Harris. He will be your crew chief along with Rob Wan and Bernard Weatherly. Your officiating crew here today inside of Bostic Gymnasium. Antoine Wynn, excited as always. We're getting ready to go. We're going to hand out some hardware at the end of the next 24 minutes.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to a great basketball game.
Tip is up, and it's controlled by Clarksville, and we're underway. And right out of the gate, they are going from deep, and that is just off the mark there from Dejon Williams out of bounds, and it'll be taken quickly here by the Indiana Lions for their first possession. And already T. Williams running it up along with Jordan Heidelberg. He has come on strong here as well over the back half of the season. Season high 21 points earlier this year.
So this is a game for Gerald. Gerald has to get involved early.
Meanwhile, T. Williams has to beat the shot clock. The shot doesn't go, but the rebound comes to Heidelberg, and Stone is short right there on that along the baseline.
That wasn't particularly a great possession for the Lions. I think they need to play through Gerald Campbell.
And now you have a zone defense here shown by the Indiana Lions.
Yes.
That is a defense that you have rarely seen out of Indiana this season.
Yes.
In fact, you don't see a lot of zone defense at all in any iteration of pro basketball. You see it right there. Here's Jackson Stone. Hard inside, and he gets the first bucket of the afternoon for the Indiana Lions.
Yeah, Jackson Stone's a great player. He plays very, very hard.
Stone only averaging about five and a half points per game, but he had a double-double against the Gary Sunrays a couple of weeks ago. That was 12 and 18 was he. Meanwhile, a hard-fought rebound taken down low this time by Demarius Smith, and he's going to draw the first foul of the afternoon.
Yeah, Jackson Stone just fouled him. Jackson Stone's going to use all of his fouls. They're going to be great fouls. You're going to have to earn it.
And just a reminder for those of you new to the ABA, you do not foul out in the American Basketball Association. However, any foul committed after that results in an extra free throw for the player on whom the foul was committed. That'll be one of several other unique rules that you will see talked about throughout this contest. Meanwhile, Demarius Smith makes his first foul shot. And he balks the second one. Still a 2-1 advantage here for Indiana with about a minute and a half gone.
There's Gerald.
He gives it off to T. Williams, fakes it inside. As you say, Antoine Wynn, he had that ball on a string.
Yes, he does. And he's a big guard, too, as well.
Good start for Indiana. They force a turnover. And that'll be the first turnover of the day here for Clarksville. Again, T. Williams outside to Heidelberg. And into the corner, Campbell. He fakes the shot, gets inside, and puts that off the glass.
Great shot by Gerald.
Back into that zone defense here is Indiana. But Heidelberg sticking to Monty Burney like glue. Here's Williams outside for a tray.
That's a nice jump shot by Williams, Dejon Williams.
And that cuts it back to a 2-point deficit here through the first 2.5. Campbell back outside. Williams left open, and he's just off the mark on that three. Long pass ahead underneath, and blocked temporarily, though, but it gets put in anyway by Tillman. The block came off of Tillman, but that is Jamario Rivers with the bucket.
Yeah, Rivers runs the floor very well.
Back up top to Heidelberg. Inside to Stone. He's double teamed along the baseline. Has to kick it up, and he turns it over. One turnover apiece here for both of these squads. Smith runs the floor, gets it back up top to Bernie. Outside, Williams splits the defenders. Here's Rivers for a long three, and he hits it. First lead of the afternoon for the Phoenix. Actually, they call that a 2-point. Now they get the score right.
Yeah.
It is a 3-point bucket there for the Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that they're going down low to Stone quite a bit, and they're going down to Gerald right now.
Campbell spinning inside along the baseline, works his way in, gets the shot, and the and one along with it. And there's Campbell telling him all day, man.
Campbell's giving the business.
That's 4 early points for Campbell here as he works his magic inside.
Yeah, Gerald Campbell is so crafty, and he has a tremendous footwork.
Again, Gerald Campbell on the season averaging about 23.5, but he has been well above that over the last 5 games.
Yes.
And he drains the and one.
So this is going to be, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a showdown.
So they need to change the score here. It's still showing a 9-9 ball game.
What score do you have?
And actually, that the score is correct now. I assumed it was a 9-9 ball game before Clarksville had made that 3, so my mistake. Rivers up top, losing the handle, getting it back into the hands now of Demarius Smith. He pulls up from the elbow, and he gets the Bostic Gym roll.
Yeah, Clarksville, they can score with anybody, so the Lions have to get stops.
First field goal of the evening for Demarius Smith. Nice take and powerful inside by Stone.
So they're going with Stone. Stone's a big guy. He's a lot bigger than Rivers.
11's on the scoreboard for both teams. Gets tipped out of bounds. It will stay here with the Clarksville Phoenix. And a media timeout on the floor. We will take one with them. It's a competitive game so far here through the first 5 minutes and some change. We'll take a timeout. Jackson Stone so far working his magic here on the ISC Sports Network.
3, 2, 1.
Has the first dunk in the building from Arinjoya. Waits.
3, 2, 1.
Has the first dunk in the building from Arinjoya. Waits. Waddell finishes.
And lays it in.
There is right now the play of the game. Better finish. Good. We might see that on plays of the week. Great feed. The finish. Spin, win, 3, bury it in the lane. No, gun, yes. Whoa, what a play. Flying in.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Please welcome one of our newest sponsors, City Barbecue. City Barbecue is out in Avon. They offer so many things like sides, ribs, sandwiches, desserts, and they have so many things that are made every day for you to come in and try them. He has so many good things that are freshly made. So if you're looking for a place where you and the family can go and have a good little dinner after the game, if you don't feel like cooking, come on down to City Barbecue and tell them the Indiana Lions sent you and just try everything. Try everything on the menu. Just start from the top to the bottom and just let them know what you feel about it. Give them a nice review, like them on Facebook. And if you never tried it, you got to get there soon. Thanks, City Barbecue, for everything. They have drinks, guys. Remember, you can go in and get drinks, and they even have curbside assistance. So if you order it, you don't even have to go in. You could just send someone in to get the food, or you can go in and get it yourself. So stop on by again at City Barbecue. Thanks for being a sponsor.
Well, the first 5 minutes of this ball game have been in India any indication. It's going to be a long one, to say the least. Both teams really doing what they want to do on both ends of the floor. Alongside Antoine Wynn, I'm Kurt Darling here. inside of Bostic Gymnasium. The ABA Midwest Region Championship on the line. And Clarksville taking the lead back right there with a big shot from the corner by Tremaine Moore. That was only a 2-point basket. Just inside the arc was he. Working his way inside, Stone along the baseline. A nice baseline J right there by the big man.
Jackson Stone is getting a lot of touches today. He's probably never received this many touches.
Again, Stone added about halfway through the season along this Indiana squad. And there's another forced turnover on the steal by Williams.
I see when Rivers gets the basketball, the Lions are double teaming him.
Back up top here to Campbell and over to Heidelberg. He wants his opening. Instead, gets it back outside. Here's Williams off the front of the iron on that three. 2-on-1 in transition. Taking it up in a point-blank miss by Tremaine Moore. And Tremont Moore is going to, there's going to be a technical foul assessed to the bench here of Clarksville.
You know, Kurt, I saw that coming because I saw early in the game he was giving Bernard Weatherly a lot of conversation. So I saw this coming.
And so this is going to be foul shots and possession here for Indiana. And there you see coaching staff there for the Clarksville giving a earful there to Bernard Weatherly. So here's Gerald Campbell, certainly the best player you want at the foul stripe here for the Indiana Lions. And he gets another one. He is 2 for 2 at the line today.
Look at Coach Williams. He's not too happy.
And can't quite get the Bostic Gym roll right there on that second one, but they still get possession of the ball. Again, Coach Dante Williams assessed a technical foul here for the Clarksville Phoenix, and that puts the Indiana Lions back up by 1 with 6:20 left to go. Campbell trying to add to it, just off the mark from the wing. Pushing it up the floor again are the Phoenix, and you're going to get another foul coming up here on Jackson Stone, it appears. And that indeed is going to be his second.
As you can see, really, Clarksville and the Lions, they kind of mirror each other. They kind of play the same way, up-tempo, fast basketball, very finesse type of teams.
So here's the former Memphis Tiger, Jamario Rivers, at the line for the first time today here for Clarksville.
And Rivers is from Clarksville, Tennessee.
Indeed, he is playing for his hometown team here in the Clarksville Phoenix. And that knocks us back up here at 14 points apiece. The Clarksville Phoenix getting through the St. Louis Spirits just yesterday inside of Bostic Gym in the Final Four here for the ABA Basketball Midwest region. Final score in that one, 114-106.
So it's safe to say he did it overnight last night.
Tillman with a big three in the corner.
Nice shot by Tillman. That's not really his basketball game, but we'll take it.
First made three of the night for Indiana. Holding it now is Bernie at the top of the key. He's going to pull up from right there, and he answers with a three
Nice
of his
shot.
own.
Monty Bernie, okay.
Clarksville back up by 1. Here's Williams trying to dump it off to Stone. It gets into the hands of Tillman. Trying to thread the needle again. Stone to the ground, and they're going to get him for a shove, and that is going to be an offensive foul on Indiana, and Jackson Stone is not happy right there. And you can see Gerald Campbell telling Stone to mind his words right there. And so that's going to be 3 fouls already on Jackson Stone. He's going to have to take a seat. That's going to be a quite a big loss right there, scoring-wise here for Tyrone Brown on the sideline.
Had a sub come in.
This will be Scooty Walker checking in. Here comes T. Williams for Indiana, outside to Heidelberg. He's going to pull up from way behind the arc, and he's just a little short. And that goes out of bounds, and it will stay here with Indiana with 5:02 left to go here in the first.
Yeah, the Lions seem to be just a little bit out of sync, especially offensively.
Some tough defense being played here by Clarksville. Working inside to Campbell. Campbell going right in on Smith. Spin around hook shot off the glass, and they're going to get Campbell with a hand check right there on the rebound.
Yeah, he reached in. I think it was more of a frustration foul.
So the fouls are racking up here for Indiana as we get our first substitution of the afternoon for Clarksville. This is going to be Avery Bates in for the first time today.
The Lions have racked up 5 fouls already.
Into the lane goes Rivers. Tries to split the defenders. It goes out of bounds. And they're going to say that was off of Gerald Campbell. It will stay on this side with 10 to shoot here for the Phoenix.
Yeah, Rivers draws a lot of attention when he gets the basketball.
Bates holding it on the wing. Up top to Burney. He tries and pulls up from the elbow. Just off the front of the iron. And this is probably a big possession here for Indiana. Walker up top to Heidelberg. Leaves it inside.
Nice.
Williams right down the middle of the lane.
Nice.
And that puts Indiana back on top by 1.
Yeah, Williams is getting a lot of basketball time these days.
Long logo 3 there from Tremont Moore. And it's a little too strong as Campbell comes away with the board. Williams wide open underneath to Tillman. Still a lot of traffic to deal with. And not quite the right angle for that shot.
As you can see, both teams are looking to push every time they get the basketball.
Alley-oop disrupted by Campbell. Heidelberg looking for his shot. Instead, dishes it off to Tillman. And he's long on another three-pointed opportunity. Moore screaming down court. And he's going to draw the foul here on either Tillman or Heidelberg. And indeed, it'll be Heidelberg picking up that foul. That'll be his first.
That's not Tillman's basketball game. Got a media timeout.
So this shot right there, coming back the other way. Heidelberg picking up the foul as we go to a timeout on the floor. As Clarksville up by 1 here on the ISC Sports Network.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is
God, there you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Lyons' way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score.
Hey Lions fans, it's Gio with Indiana Lions coming to talk about Knockouts haircuts for men out in Avon. They specialize in getting you right on your haircuts, on your linings, your shaves, your face, your touch-ups, whatever it is that you need to get done. They are the best to do it. They make sure they get us right before every game, every photo shoot. They always have us picture ready. And so we just want to give them a shout out for being a sponsor to the Indiana Lions. And Lions family, again, if you need a good haircut or a good trimming, a nice shave, they even wash your hair. That was something I didn't even know of. So just go and check them out and tell them Gio sent you, or James, whichever name you want to use. Just go on down and check out Knockouts Haircuts for Men and let them wow you with the experience there. They even have a cooler with drinks in it.
It's a competitive game here in front of a hometown crowd for the Indiana Lions. On the line, a trip to the ABA playoffs. First, they got to get the regional championship under their belt here for the Midwest region. Alongside Antoine Wynn, I'm Kurt Darling. Going right to the free throw line here is Jamario Rivers after that foul before the timeout by Jordan Heidelberg.
Yes, again, you have Rivers at the free throw line. He had a nice career overseas. And can he play for University of Memphis for legendary coach Tubby Smith.
And he misses his first foul shot right there. And that will tie that game back up at 19-all here with 3:27 left in the first. Full court press now coming here from Clarksville.
Yeah, both teams mirror each other.
And a timeout going to be called by Indiana as the Lions kind of smacked in the mouth right there as Coach Tyrone Brown will take a 30-second timeout here to talk things over with his squad.
You notice all the fans have on Lions T-shirts. It was a T-shirt day.
Indeed it is. It's a blackout here inside of the Bostic Gymnasium. The Indiana Lions celebrating the Midwest Region Final Four right here, being hosted for the first time here inside of Bostic Gymnasium.
Nice T-shirts too.
Hoping they can read Midwest Region Champions on those shirts here in about a week's time. So now if you're Tyrone Brown, what are you telling your team right now? As right now, Clarksville, they're pretty much giving you all you can handle right now through this game.
Yes, they are. So if I'm Coach Brown, I'm telling my players to settle down. And me as a coach, I'm playing through Gerald Campbell. That's just me. I'm playing through him because the offense flows better when he has the basketball and he can make the decisions that need to be made. So that's what I would do. And as a player, you can never have the ball in the corners like that. That's a trap waiting to happen because you have three defenders. You have the two, and you have the line right there. And so that's how Heidelberg got trapped right there because he was in that corner.
So both coaches looking for some clarification from the scorer's table, and now we resume play.
You see Gerald's directing traffic from the other side.
Here's Tillman double teamed in the corner. Good ball movement by the Lions, but Scooty Walker doesn't quite realize that you have a shot clock violation right there, and that's another costly turnover here for Indiana. Now the third turnover here as you take a look. Walker kind of losing his footing right there as well. That kind of hindered things as he tried to get inside. Outside shot. That's a three-pointer taken by Bates. Gets his own rebound and then tries again, but still can't get it to go. Into the corner, Williams.
Yeah, that's...
Here's Tillman. Working inside on Rivers, back outside. Williams pulls up along the baseline. Can't quite get the shot to fall there either.
Yeah, Clarksville has great defense. It's almost suffocating.
Long pass and a huge steal here by Jordan Heidelberg, and uncontested, he gets the shot to fall.
Kurt, he timed that. It was kind of a featherly pass, and he timed it just right.
Heidelberg now the fifth different player for Indiana to get in the scorer's column. 2 minutes to go here in quarter number one. Here's Smith going off of the backboard, tried to oop it to himself, it appears. And now here is Scooty Walker with a hard-fought basket in transition.
That was a great shot by Walker. It's got a steal by Heidelberg.
There's a 3D rule. It should be. At least it was momentarily. Still getting back the other way, and a huge three-pointer taken by Monty Burney to silence the crowd.
That was a tough shot.
We almost had a 3D rule opportunity there by Indiana. And that cuts the lead back to one here for the Lions. Little give-and-go action outside. Here's Campbell setting his feet. Hits a big three, the big man. Gerald Campbell. Now with 9 points.
Mr. Everything.
Deep three again coming from Burney off the mark.
Burney is a shot maker.
Now Indiana with some momentum on their side as time winds down here in the opening quarter. Heidelberg thinking about the three here with 8 to shoot. Here's Williams driving the baseline, draws the foul. He can't quite get the continuation, but he'll go to the line. And that's going to be Tremont Moore picking up his first foul. Only the second foul committed in this opening quarter here by Clarksville as Kendrick Lee will check into the ballgame for the first time for Indiana.
All right. Is Mike Pugh available today?
Mike Pugh is available, but he has not so far seen any action as of yet. Again, he was One of those players who had to sit for about 5 or 6 games to close the regular season because he was nursing an ankle injury.
Okay, because I see him in uniform.
Meanwhile, Williams goes 1 of 2 at the line. And there you see Mike Pugh on the sideline, waiting his time if needed. Largest lead of the game here for Indiana at 5 points. And Indiana can now extend the lead here as Clarksville has gone cold from the field. Walker with a hand in his face. He's short, getting the offensive rebound almost. There is Williams, but he is unable to corral it, and it goes out of bounds. Shot clock is off here. Going for the oop, and a big dunk right there by Jamario Rivers.
Wow.
Still, Indiana can hold for the final shot here.
There it is.
Here's Campbell. Through the shake and bake. Short on the shot. And that'll take us to the end of quarter number 1. It's certainly been competitive as you see a few extracurricular activities. Campbell not quite happy there, but still some excellent shots taken by T. Williams in that opening quarter. Quarter number 2 coming at you next here on the ISC Sports Network.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it.
Here's the finish. You get a layup taken and an and one.
I had a love for cookies the whole time, a love for baking actually, growing up, and it had always been a dream of mine. And I got sick and at my old job and had to quit, and then ended up getting a little bit better, was able to get another job, but then COVID hit and lost my job again. And at that point, my kids and my husband were like, you need to just do this, you know. So we took a chance.
And out of that, Mama Shell's was born. And I can personally say that I have had the cookies, and they are amazing. If you haven't tried them, we offer them at the gym. Thank you, Mama Shell's, for being a sponsor for the Indiana Lyons.
Well, let's take a look at this basket again. Rather, he was short. Gerald Campbell getting a little bit of a bump right there to Monte Burney, and still a few extra words getting right in his face. Campbell better be careful. That was right in front of lead official Tracy Harris.
Yes. That's good officiating, too.
And then still a few more words coming from Campbell as he gets to the bench as well. Still, it illustrates how important this game is to both of these teams. A Midwest Region championship on the line. Lots of emotions riding on it as well.
Yeah, Clarksville, like I said, they're a mirror image of the Lions. Burney, who he was arguing with, he's a tremendous player. I mean, he's got that basketball on the string, and he has tremendous range. And so sometimes as a player, when you see a team that mirrors you, sometimes you get frustrated.
So Indiana with the basketball to start the second quarter. Into the corner, Walker along the baseline. Has to get it back out. And now Walker pulling up from the elbow. Can't quite get the open shot, but Tillman is right there patiently waiting, and he gets the big roll.
And Gerald Campbell has to understand that he means a lot to this basketball team, so he can't get caught up in anything like that.
Steal and the flush. Give the credit from Lee to Walker.
I didn't know Walker could get up like that.
He can now. And a good start here for Indiana as they now have their largest lead of the afternoon at 7. Into the ball game for the first time today is Andre Dickerson here for Clarksville. And Dickerson from the corner, just off the mark. Shot clock expiring, but they'll get a fresh 24 here on the rebound.
I think that zone is bothering Clarksville because normally the Lions normally play man, typically.
And there you see Campbell getting right in on Burney. Again, those two have been exchanging words with each other. And on the reverse layup there is Smith. Williams inside now to Campbell.
Mismatch right here.
Working on Smith, and he's going to draw the foul on Demarius Smith.
Old-fashioned foul right there. Gerald set him up. Right here, his hands, look at his hand. That's the oldest trick in the book, Kurt.
Sometimes you get it however you can get it, right?
Yeah, he set him up.
And so this puts Campbell back at the line for the third time today. And he knocks home that first one. He is 3 of 4 at the line. Again, Campbell, a 2020 ABA All-Star, has been with the Lions for the last 4 seasons. And pretty much I'd say it's pretty tough to argue that this has been his best season in an Indiana Lions uniform.
And another thing, too, Tyrone Brown has to make sure that he gets proper rest for Campbell, because you can't burn him out. You have to get steal minutes for him.
It's tough to play a full 48-minute basketball game.
Yes, you have to find time to get him rest.
He's been in from the get-go so far, along with Leon Tillman.
Yeah, you need him fresh.
Bernie back outside. Smith elevates for a 3. That's off the mark. Long pass from Gerald Campbell, a little too strong, out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Indiana, luckily there, as he led Kendrick Lee a little bit too much.
Yes, he did.
And now a dead ball whistle here. Lead official Tracy Harris going to have a few words with everybody in the middle.
Yeah, Tracy's going to defuse it. Trust and believe me.
High-octane game, both physically and emotionally.
Yep. Tracy Harris is getting some order.
Looks like he got a piece of jewelry fall off here as well.
Yes.
So Campbell with the slap. Gets it into Walker. Walker inside. Campbell off the glass. Nice feed in there by Scooty Walker. Long pass. That was tipped there by Walker. Give him a block, but still Williams comes away with the rebound, and he's going to draw the foul.
Clarksville is a scrappy bunch. I mean, they are very scrappy. They get on the floor.
Meanwhile, Walker's going to pick up his first foul, but he got a hand on that shot that was pull up in transition from Williams.
Yes, he does.
Still a 9-point lead here for Indiana, their largest of the day. And Williams misses the first foul shot.
But I know they understand Clarksville's not going away. It's going to take 48 minutes.
And the back half goes for Williams. He has 4 points.
And Kurt, we have a nice crowd here tonight, too.
Indeed we do. Indiana has a very devout local following here, as there's a big three from Scooty Walker off the bench. Walker now with 7 of his own. Trying to answer is Bernie. Off the front of the iron, loose ball, and it's almost taken by Kendrick Lee. Instead, Dickerson's able to clean it up for Phoenix.
As I was saying, they're scrappy. Those 50-50 balls.
Still that run late there in the first quarter for Indiana, sustaining them through the midway part of the second quarter. Here's Campbell working in on Dickerson. A little bit of a bump, step back Jay. Rebound comes to Mike Pugh into the ball game for the first time today.
Okay, Mike's in, okay.
And back outside Pugh. Step back 3 with the rattle. Welcome back Mike Pugh, everybody.
I didn't even see him come in the game.
Me neither. Trying to answer is Williams. Here comes Walker again. And he's going to have to check it back out as he ran into a wall of defense.
Knock it down, Mike.
Here comes Mike Pugh again. And into the corner comes Kendrick Lee. Walker into the corner. Lee for 3, just off the front of the iron. Gets his own rebound, tries to sweep it into Tillman, and it's a turnover.
Yes, that wasn't a good pass. It's too crowded in there.
Bernie in transition. Hits the 3 from the wing.
Yeah, Bernie, I like Bernie's game. Bernie's nice with it.
Timeout on the floor. And we will take one with them. 1 minute timeout taken here by Indiana. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
shot at the buzzer. Got it! She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello! Did it again. Hello! Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
For all of your eyelash and eyebrow care, visit Decalash in Plainfield now and book your appointment today.
A 9-point lead for Indiana here midway through the second quarter. Alongside Antoine Wynn, I'm Kurt Darling. There you see coach, owner, man who sweeps the floor, everything in between, Mr. Tyrone Brown, who is the heartbeat of this Indiana Lions franchise, and he's done a good job leading the team so far this season.
Yeah, Tyrone Brown's Mr. Everything. He does it all. He is the, what's the guy from the Dallas Cowboys, the owner?
The Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones at ABA.
He certainly does it all here and does an excellent job at it. Walker off the timeout, gets the good Bostic Jim roll. Scooty Walker, everybody, with 11 points now off the bench.
The Lions are starting to get some separation, which they need.
Back outside to Bernie here with Mike Pugh on him. Bernie pulling up and gets the J to fall.
Yeah, Bernie is a solid player.
Walker getting it inside now to Campbell, one-on-one. Here was Dickerson, and he draws another foul again,
that's
doing that same
trick.
baiting trick. And Campbell, you can tell he's a veteran.
Yeah, so when you're on defense, when you have a crafty player like Gerald Campbell, you can't extend your arms. He's going to go through your arms.
And now we hit the under 8 media timeout. It is a 43-34 deficit here for the Clarksville Phoenix to the Indiana Lions. Gerald Campbell doing a lot for Indiana right now. We'll take a timeout back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. So that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Hello, Lions friends and family. Are you looking for commercial problems with your heating, your air conditioning, your plumbing, your drain cleaning, your gas fireplace, or your refrigeration? Well, look no further. Call Maury. He's open 24/7. The number is right there. If you have any problems or any needs, make sure you give him a call. He's a proud sponsor of the Indiana Lions. And we thank you, Maury, for all of your help with any plumbing issues or any drain issues that we may have. So make sure you all give him a call and tell him that Gio from the Indiana Lions sent you. For the newest fashions that we have with the Indiana Lions, are you looking for the jersey for your favorite Indiana Lions player? Well, come on down to the locker room here in Danville. They make all of the Lions clothing, and they have a lot of things to offer, from hoodies to jerseys to everything. Just visit the locker room today.
Yeah, Kiwanis, it's a global organization. It's a not-for-profit. So Kiwanis is dedicated to changing the world one child at a time.
Yeah.
So here in Danville, we're business owners, we're teachers, we're parents, we're neighbors. We just come together and we provide events for kids.
So check out Kiwanis and come on down to Moki's every first and third Tuesday and change lives one child at a time.
Gerald Campbell at the foul stripe here for his 2 foul shots before the media timeout. He was fouled by Demarius Smith, picking up his second alongside Antoine Wynn. I'm Kurt Darling. As you mentioned it, Antoine, Indiana still just kind of keeping Clarksville at an arm's length, but still trying to find that separation as well.
Yes, they have to find separation because Clarksville, they have two good basketball players that shoot the basketball very well, so they knock the three ball down very well and they can get back in basketball game.
Here's Jamario Rivers, blocked from behind there by Tillman, and it goes out of bounds, and Indiana quick on the turnaround for the inbound.
Yes.
And Campbell gets his pocket picked there by Bernie, and he flushes it home the other way. That's not going to be. That's not going to sit too well with Gerald Campbell right there.
No, it's not.
Campbell back outside to Pugh, and he tries for another three ball. Can't quite get it to go. And a foul going to be called on Scooty Walker, going for that rebound on Williams.
Yeah, Monty Burney played. Yeah, Monty Burney played at Eastern Kentucky.
Ooh, and it looked like he may have tweaked something right there.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to be all right for the time being. He remains in the ball game. Here's Rivers on the play fake. Back outside to Williams. Meanders his way in, and it gets tipped out of bounds off of Leon Tillman. Have another quick substitution here for Clarksville as Smith will check back in. And once again, all five starters back on the floor here for Clarksville.
There's Bernie again.
Distant three from Bernie. Smith with the offensive rebound, tries to draw the foul, can't quite get it to go, but still gets the follow-up shot to fall.
Yeah, he went up there and got that one.
And now Clarksville has reeled it back into within 7. Here's
Gerald's clearing them out.
Campbell directing some traffic along the baseline. Tillman in on Rivers. Nice take in there by the big man. Tillman now with 7 points to his credit.
Yeah, Rivers is taking a beat down low. He's really playing out of position. He's more of a wing guy.
Into the corner. Moore off the front of the iron. And Mike Pugh coming away with the rebound. Pugh trying to split the defenders. Tillman has it again in traffic. Steps back. Nothing there. And Rivers away with the rebound. Bernie pulling up in transition.
Wow.
That's a shot that he is really good at hitting, as he has indicated. His 4th three-pointer of the day.
Well, as I indicated, he played at Eastern Kentucky University.
Here's Kendrick Lee, the former Brownsburg Bulldog, off to Campbell, and he's blocked at the rim.
And that's what gets
Williams, back-to-back threes for Clarksville.
Things like that gets Clarksville going. Doesn't take long. It's a three-point basketball game now.
Indiana led by as many as 11. And now Clarksville on a quick 7-0 swing.
As I mentioned, they're not going anywhere. You have to play 48 minutes.
Walker off the screen from Campbell. He tries to force his way inside, and a much-needed basket there by Gerald Campbell.
Nice basket by Campbell.
Approaching under 4 to go here in quarter number 2. Williams tries again from deep.
Yeah, Gerald looks a little winded.
So far, he has played every minute of this game without a break.
Yeah, he needs a break.
Mike Pugh playing a little post guy inside.
Okay. That's good to see Mike Pugh. I hadn't seen him in quite some time.
Bernie underneath, kicks it back outside. Good defense by Kendrick Lee, but still, here's Moore into the lane. Big rebound by Tillman. Lee ahead to Walker. Tries to draw the foul, and he does.
Yeah, Walker is very aggressive today.
He's certainly been a big ray of sunshine for Indiana with the loss of Jackson Stone, who is in foul trouble right now with 3. And now we have the media timeout being called before we get foul shots from Scooty Walker. It's a competitive one here. Indiana on top by 7 here with 3:28 to go here in the second on the ISC Sports Network.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa, my goodness.
122.60 for Penn.
What a swim!
Six of them.
Hello, Lyons family. It's me again, Gio. I am going to be your host this weekend. My parents will not be here this whole weekend. So I need you all to come out with me, and we need to root the Lions on and the Lions Den like you all have been doing since the beginning of the preseason. We have seen this gym packed out like we have not seen it before. That's because we're coming together and the family is growing. The people are hearing the word that the Indiana Lions are stomping out of the Lions Den and we're taking over. I mean, a lot of new people, and a lot of you have a lot of questions about how did the gym even get here, and so I got my buddy Sean to tell you.
My name is Sergeant Sean Rout. I work for the Danville, Indiana Police Department. We are here at the Danville Police Department and Town Hall.
All right, and how did the Town Hall, the Police Department, and the Lions Gym all become one?
Well, we consider the Lions family here. I work a lot of security at the games, and they're just part of our family here in Danville.
There you see official Bernard Weatherly here among the rest of these 3 officials. Tracy Harris, Rob Wan, taking some time out of their Sunday to officiate some ABA basketball. A big one at that, as the Indiana Lions ahead by 7 over Clarksville, competing for the ABA Midwest Region Championship. Alongside Antoine Wynn, I'm Kurt Darling, and Antoine, looks like Gerald Campbell's going to finally get some much-deserved rest here with 3:28 left to go. He'll sub out. Actually, no, he's going to be back in. It looks like he was standing on the sideline there for a little bit as if he was checking out. Probably insistent he wants to stay in here to try and do as much as he can.
What I would have done if I was Coach Brown, I would have left him out during this right here and probably put him back in with about a minute off the clock and put him back in. That would give him about 3 minutes of actual rest.
Meanwhile, Scooty Walker, he has certainly been a big help off the bench with Jackson Stone off the bench in foul trouble.
This is probably one of the better games I've seen Walker play.
And he rattles home both foul shots.
A 9-point basketball game.
11 points now for Scooty Walker. Zone defense again, this time a little bit of stretched one outside. As Bernie goes right in on T. Williams. And into the corner, it's touched on the baseline. And that is a big turnover right there for Clarksville, their 5th of the day. T. Williams got a little bit of a breather. He's back in now.
Yes, he is.
Now here's Campbell up top on Smith. A little bit of a mismatch, but still some double team. He pulls up from the elbow, and he's short on that shot. Bernie into the lane on Campbell. Gets it over Campbell, and they're going to call a foul on him as well.
Yeah, Bernie is aggressive. And he has to be that way.
And you can kind of tell right now that Bernie is getting under the skin of Gerald Campbell a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you fouled him, Gerald.
The end one doesn't go, though, for Monte Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie has to be in double figures by now.
Here's Walker into the corner. Kendrick Lee on Williams. And we got a foul coming up here on Clarksville. That's going to be Williams picking up his first. So Monte Bernie now has 18 points for the Clarksville Phoenix. He leads them in that regard.
Okay. He puts it up.
Williams working inside on Bernie. Step back Jay doesn't fall, a little short there for T. Williams.
I like to see T. Williams take a couple more power dribbles, get a better shot.
Back in the zone here for Indiana. Loose ball fought for. It's going to be a jump ball, and the possession arrow is going to favor Clarksville. And that was Jamario Rivers and Gerald Campbell fighting over that ball right there. And you can see Campbell
Gerald's amped up today.
Still chirping a little bit there at Monte Bernie. Certainly an entertaining show here between Bernie and Campbell amongst the rest of the ball game. Working his way inside Dickerson. Correction, that was actually Tremont Moore.
That was a great, nice drive.
Final 2 minutes here of the second.
So, Kurt, they've played each other twice, you said earlier, right?
They did, and they've split the regular season series as Scooty Walker will go back to the line. Indiana lost to Clarksville here on this court early on in the season, but then Indiana was able to go down to Clarksville on January 28th. That was a 112-106 victory for Indiana. So needless to say, if history indicates, the away team has been the more lucky one in this series so far this year.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen for the Lions today.
Still a 5-point advantage here for the Lions. And Scooty Walker makes it 6. He has 12 off of the bench.
As I mentioned earlier, this Clarksville team is not going away.
And now we have a whistle here as Bernard Weatherly.
He's warning somebody.
He's giving a little bit of a warning there to Demarius Smith. Meanwhile, Walker misses that shot.
A game like this is going to be very chirpy because it's a lot at stake.
Foul away from the ball. It's actually going to be Kendrick Lee. Looks like they're going to get him for wrapping up Jamario Rivers, who was setting a screen there for Bernie. And a fresh 24 here for Clarksville. Williams bull rushing the basket. And a blocking foul going to be called on Indiana. You're going to get Mike Pugh.
As I mentioned, this team is not going away.
Here's Dejon Williams. He already has 2 3-pointers to his credit, 1 of 2 at the line today. And Tyrone Brown going to keep the remaining 5 on the floor here for Indiana. Two big foul shots there for Clarksville as they cut it back to 4.
Yes. And a Mike Pugh sighting.
Campbell inside on Rivers. Back outside now to Walker. Campbell working inside, and he steps out of bounds.
So what it looks like they're not going to let Gerald Campbell go one-on-one. They'll make somebody else beat them.
Williams with a little bit of a lane, and he just throws it out of bounds, trying to feed a Jamario Rivers for an oop.
I don't think Jamario was ready for it.
Here's Pugh in the corner, step back 3-pointer, just a little too strong. Tipped out of bounds, though, and it will stay with the Lions.
Got 50 seconds to go.
And now Heidelberg's going to check in here for Kendrick Lee. Still, though, a quick timeout going to be taken by Dante Williams. We'll keep it right there here, though, on the ISC Sports Network with 50 seconds to go. Indiana with just a 4-point lead. And, Antoine, they've led by as many as 11, but I have a feeling that's about as much as it's going to be here throughout this one.
It's going to go back and forth again because both these teams know each other. It's their 3rd time playing each other. And it's going to go down to the wire. It's going to come down to who's going to be most disciplined on both ends of the court.
There's Dante Williams, head coach of the Clarksville Phoenix. Again, this is a Clarksville team that joined the ABA only back in 2021, so they are still a relatively young franchise. here in the American Basketball Association, and they've been able to build up to get to this stage competing for a Midwest Region championship.
Yeah, I like their team. They're a scrappy bunch, and they're very athletic. And I think that's causing a lot of problems for the Lions because they're so athletic and they can shoot, and they're not scared. And so, and again, they know each other very well.
Again, Indiana and Clarksville last played each other back on January 28th. The first meeting this season was all the way back on November 19th.
Okay.
And that was the third game of the regular season for Indiana. Of course, at that juncture, Indiana, when all was said and done by December 3rd, they had lost 4 of their first 5 games of the season. They would then go on to win their next 16 games with only 2 losses to Burning River and St. Louis there sandwiched in between amongst them.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Williams in the corner, thought about the 3. Campbell inside, tries to draw a foul. No dice, it gets tipped out, and they're going to say it was off of Campbell, and he is certainly frustrated here with this first half. Step back here, way off the mark that time from Moore.
I think it was tipped.
Heidelberg has an opening along the wing, and they certainly needed that shot to fall, but just off the mark was that one. Full court pressure here from Indiana with the final 24. Birney on the wing, just off the mark, but Rivers with the offensive rebound, tipped up again by Campbell, and Williams comes away with it. Shot clock is off.
I'm going for one shot.
Struggling to get it up court here is Indiana. Campbell can't come away with it, and it's a costly turnover by the Lions.
Yeah.
And they pay the price.
Yeah, that was a bad possession.
And so Demarius Smith with the final bucket of the first half comes it to a 2-point deficit for Clarksville. Indiana on top here going to halftime. It's a competitive one with some hardware on the line. It's halftime here on the ISC Sports Network.
This week's pregame show is brought to you by
2, 1.
Has the first dunk in the building from Aaron Zoya. Waits, Waddell finishes and lays it in.
There is right now the play of the game.
Better finish. Good. We might see that on plays of the week. Great feed. The finish. Spin, win, 3. Bury it in the lane. No, gun, yes. Stop. Whoa, what a play. Flying in.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly, and ever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Please welcome one of our newest sponsors, City Barbecue. City Barbecue is out in Avon. They offer so many things like sides, ribs, sandwiches, desserts, and they have so many things that are made every day for you to come in and try them. He has so many good things that are freshly made. So if you're looking for a place where you and the family can go and have a good little dinner after the game, if you don't feel like cooking, come on down to City Barbecue and tell them the Indiana Lions sent you and just try everything. Try everything on the menu. Just start from the top to the bottom and just let them know what you feel about it. Give them a nice review, like them on Facebook. And if you never tried it, you got to get there soon. Thanks, City Barbecue, for everything. They have drinks, guys. Remember, you can go in and get drinks, and they even have curbside assistance. So if you order it, you don't even have to go in. You could just send someone in to get the food, or you can go in and get it yourself. So stop on by again at City Barbecue. Thanks for being a sponsor.
It's halftime here inside of Bostic Gym in Danville, the home of the Indiana Lions and the home of the ABA Basketball Midwest Region Final Four. Here on the ISC Sports Network, the Lions and the Phoenix playing for the region championship here today and the right to represent the region in the ABA playoffs here in about a week's time. Alongside Antoine Wynn, I'm Kurt Darling. Coach, good to be with you here, obviously always. Still a pretty back and forth half there, but still Indiana led for the most of it, but Clarksville, they have really shown to be a thorn in the side of the Lions here so far in this one.
As I mentioned earlier, both of these teams mirror each other, and Clarksville's not going away. So the Lions have to value their possessions. Like that last possession they had, they didn't value that. They went too quick and gave the ball to Campbell in traffic. So we have to make better decisions down the stretch. And again, they need to find a way to stop Bernie. Bernie is really killing them from the outside, so they're going to have to figure out a way to stop him and stop their transition. So they're very good in transition. So the Lions have to come out and be a better team.
Monte Bernie has 18 points to lead all scorers here in this ball game for the Clarksville Phoenix. Meanwhile, Gerald Campbell has 17 of his own. And you mentioned Gerald Campbell. Obviously, you want to get a little bit more involved with him, but also the fact that he played the entire first half without a break, not to mention he seems to be getting a little frustrated as well.
Yeah, so when you fatigue like that, the little things will irritate you and get you off your game. I've seen Gerald over the years. I've never seen him like this. You know, normally if he gets into it with someone, he leaves, he moves on from it, but he's staying with it, and they need him to be the Gerald Campbell in order for them to be victorious today, because there's no tomorrow. It's win or go home.
It certainly is, but also, even though Gerald Campbell, he has certainly shown his frustration today, one player that has certainly been smooth as silk is Scooty Walker, coming off the bench with 12 points. That has really been a big factor, seeing as how Jackson Stone, he had 6 quick points in the first half. The problem is he also had 3 quick fouls.
Yes, Walker has played a tremendous basketball game. He's played well from the inside and the outside. He's a bigger guard, and he poses problems for the opposite team. So, and Jackson Stone has played tremendous. He does like the dirty work. You know, he likes the bump and grind of the basketball game, but he's the kind of like the hatchet man, so to speak.
Still, though, the bulldozer, as I coined him off air earlier, he had to sit for the entirety of that second quarter with those 3 fouls. Another thing I also observed here in that first half, Antoine, is the fact that we only had one very, very brief 3D rule. Other than that, it has been basically a clean, regular basketball game here in the ABA.
Yes, it was. That 3D rule, it was like 2 seconds. They couldn't even get the light on quick enough, and it was going the other way. Like I said, both teams play the same way. They mirror each other, and it's the third time playing each other.
Of course, here's some highlights of Scooty Walker coming off of the bench. Again, he had one of his 12 points right there. He's also gotten a couple old-fashioned 3-point plays along with it. Also
nice
showing
dunk.
his ups as well.
Yes. He's got a barrage of plays.
Again, Scooty Walker has had a couple starts earlier this season. In fact, he's averaging about 9.5 per contest. He is at 12 at the moment here inside of Bostic Gymnasium. We'll now take another quick timeout. When we come back, we'll look at some more highlights as well as get some more analysis on what to expect coming up here in the second half. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Indiana Lions basketball in the ABA Midwest Region Final Four here inside the Bostic Gymnasium here on the ISC Sports Network.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is
God, there you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler!
Whoa!
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score!
Hey Lions fans, it's Gio with Indiana Lions, coming to talk about Knockouts haircuts for men out in Avon. They specialize in getting you right on your haircuts, on your linings, your shaves, your face, your touch-ups, whatever it is that you need to get done. They are the best to do it. They make sure they get us right before every game, every photo shoot. They always have us picture ready. And so we just want to give them a shout out for being a sponsor to the Indiana Lions. And Lions family, again, if you need a good haircut or a good trimming, a nice shave, they even wash your hair. That was something I didn't even know of. So just go and check them out and tell them Gio sent you, or James, whichever name you want to use. Just go on down and check out Knockouts Haircuts for Men. and let them wow you with the experience there. They even have a cooler with drinks in it.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left. Fake players, Big Boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. Oh! That's the finish. You get a layup to take it. And an and one.
Still halftime here inside the Bostic Gymnasium. The Indiana Lions on top by 2 over the Clarksville Phoenix with the Midwest Region Championship on the line here in the ABA. Alongside Antoine Wynn, I'm Kurt Darling. Coach, let's take a look at some highlights here. First, Gerald Campbell being Gerald Campbell all game long. Still, he hasn't had to do it without a fight.
Yes, they are on Gerald Campbell because he's the main person, and they have the scouting report, and plus they know him.
He's also been a little verbal as well, still hitting outside shots whenever he can as well, but still he has been showing his frustration all game long, a lot of which as well come off of a lot of plays like that where he is really being pressed at the rim.
Yes, Gerald has to keep his composure together because he's too valuable to the team.
Now, this has been the man that has really been the cause of a lot of that frustration. Monte Burney, he has 18 points here for Clarksville in the early going, a lot of them from behind the arc. He has 4 made three-pointers here in this basketball game. Yes,
Burney is a tremendous basketball player. I mean, he plays inside out, and he's just all over the place. You have to guard him. You have to guard him as soon as he crosses over half court because he has range. And that has certainly been something to contend with here. Again, the winner of this game will go on to represent the Midwest region in the ABA playoffs. Of course, that'll have to be organized as teams get sorted out from other regions as well. But Indiana certainly familiar with that. They were in the ABA playoffs back in 2021 as the ABA North Central Region champions. Again, Gerald Campbell was on that team, but talking with Coach Tyrone Brown earlier today, he said that back at that particular juncture of the franchise, the team wasn't mentally prepared for that kind of stage. Now he says he feels they are mentally ready to actually take on the whole nation as well as the region. Yes, they're more seasoned now, and like I said, they've been together for a long time, and sometimes it takes, getting your head bumped a few times before you can move on. And me personally, I think they're ready as well. But again, Clarksville is not going anywhere. Clarksville is standing in their way, and they have to go through Clarksville to move on.
Indiana beat Clarksville on January 28th at Clarksville. 112-106 was the final score in that ball game. But back on November 19th, Indiana lost 101-93 right here inside Bostic Gymnasium. So again, this is the 3rd time that these two teams have met each other. This is the 7th meeting all time. Again, before this meeting tonight, it is a split series between the two at 3 games apiece. So that just goes to show you how much of a rivalry this is also kind of starting to become between these two basketball teams here in the Midwest region. We'll take another final timeout. When we come back, we will have the start of the second half. 2 quarters left to go to decide who will be representing the ABA Midwest region in the ABA playoffs here in just a little while. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
I had a love for cookies the whole time, a love for baking actually, growing up, and it had always been a dream of mine. And I got sick and at my old job and had to quit, and then ended up getting a little bit better, was able to get another job, but then COVID hit and lost my job again. And at that point, my kids and my husband were like, you need to just do this, So we took a chance.
And out of that, Mama Shell's was born. And I can personally say that I have had the cookies, and they are amazing. If you haven't tried them, we offer them at the gym. Thank you, Mama Shell's, for being a sponsor for the Indiana Lions.
Shot at the buzzer. Good! She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Brady, hello! Did it again. Hello! Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
For all of your eyelash and eyebrow care, visit Decalash in Plainfield now and book your appointment today.
Has it, leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable!
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. So that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Antoine Wynn, Kurt Darling here with you inside of the Bostic Gymnasium in Danville. The host of the Indiana Lions and Clarksville Phoenix duking it out for the Midwest Region Championship here in the ABA. Fans of all ages, not even a year old, taking in some basketball right here inside of this historic Cracker Box Gymnasium that has seen a lot of basketball over the years. Now may see a championship crown inside once again. Antoine Wynn, what are you expecting here from both of these teams here in the second half?
Well, I expect from both teams to come out and hit first and try to establish their game and impose their will. The Lions, again, have to come out, and I always say they have to play through Gerald Campbell. Gerald has to settle down and put his team on his back so they can prevail. As far as the Clarksville team, Bernie is the main person, but they also have to get Rivers involved too as well.
So there you see Jackson Stone. He is going to be starting the second half. He remind you that he has 3 fouls already to his credit. But Indiana able to keep a 2-point game in their favor without him throughout the entirety of that second quarter.
He hadn't played in some time.
He had 6 quick points.
Yes.
Heidelberg with a big tray to get the quarter going here for Indiana.
Right on cue.
That's his first made three-pointer of the night.
That's encouraging.
And now Jamario Rivers going to try and answer. No dice.
I think the Lions will give him that every time.
It's the starting 5 once again with Heidelberg, Williams, Campbell, Stone, and Tillman on the floor here for Indiana. Heidelberg trying again from deep.
Wow. He is hot from behind the arc. The little man. 6 straight points for Indiana.
They're going back right at him.
You couldn't ask for a better start to this half here if you're Tyrone Brown. Down low, Rivers. A little bit of a tip there from, give a block to Jackson Stone.
Let's see if they'll go back to Heidelberg. He's got to give it up to get it back.
Here's Williams. He's going to try a tray,
wow.
And he does.
Williams got to get timeout. He's got to get a timeout.
3 straight three-pointers by Indiana, and a quick timeout going to be taken here by Clarksville. What a start here for the Lions in this half.
That's a 9-0 run.
All from behind the arc. Heidelberg and Williams. Maybe they put their hands under some heating pads during that halftime period. Either way,
yeah,
that is a excellent start to get it back to what is still the largest lead of the day here for Indiana at 11 points.
Absolutely, they're playing the way they need to play. They have to keep playing the same way.
And so once again, Clarksville starting the half with their usual starting lineup. That is Bernie, Rivers, Williams, Smith, and Moore.
Yeah, as far as Clarksville has to match Lyons' energy.
And so Clarksville with the ball here out of this timeout. And they have been punched in the mouth here in the opening of this round. Smith up top to Bernie. Here's Bernie inside with a little bit of an opening, and that is going to be foul number 4 on Jackson Stone.
Jackson Stone's going to get his money's worth every time. Somebody's going to be on the ground.
And this will put Bernie back at the line to try and snap what is a 9-0 run here for Indiana to start this second half.
Yes, it is.
And Bernie just gets the roll. He now has 19 points. Both of them fall for Bernie. He now has 20. Back to within 9 points for Clarksville. Here's Williams. Back off to Heidelberg.
Lyons running the motion offense.
Heidelberg wants that three-pointer, but he is well defended by Williams. It's tipped up and stolen by Bernie. Up top, another alley-oop down low to Smith.
That was very nice.
And so now Clarksville, despite being hit there by Indiana to start this half, clawed their way back to within 7. Heidelberg, little bit of in and out right there. That almost was through the cylinder, but just bounced out. And an empty possession for Indiana.
Yeah, it's going down to the wire.
Rivers inside off the feed from Smith.
They're on a 6-0 run now.
A game of spurts here. So that was probably a very well-timed timeout by Coach Dante Williams of Clarksville, as Campbell can't convert on the point-blank shot. And more.
Now I'm getting a timeout if I'm him. If I'm coach for Lyons, I'm getting a timeout. You have to settle your team down.
And Brown is not going to take a timeout for right now.
I'm very surprised.
Back to a 2-point game. A 9-0 run to start for Indiana. Now a 9-0 run for Clarksville.
I am very surprised that Tyrone Brown's not called a timeout.
Heidelberg steps back with 1 to shoot, and that's going to be nearly a shot clock violation. And now Moore spins inside, loses the handle off the defense from Heidelberg. And an off-kilter shot somehow makes it through the iron there for Williams. 4 3-pointers, and that is it for Indiana this half so far. Back outside, Moore thinks better of the three-pointer. Bernie works his way inside for an easy lay-in.
Yeah, Bernie is tough.
He almost sent T. Williams flying into the merch store. As Tillman
there now,
getting in on the double team. Stone working his way inside. He gets it swatted out of his hand, and they're going to say that was off of Clarksville. And they're going to call a foul.
Like it was on Rivers.
And they're actually going to get Dejon Williams for his second. And that'll bring us to the under 8 media timeout. Well, it has been an exciting start to this second half. Let's catch our breath here for this one. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Hello, Lyons friends and family. Are you looking for commercial problems with your heating, your air conditioning, your plumbing, your drain cleaning, your gas fireplace, or your refrigeration? Well, look no further. Call Maury. He's open 24/7. The number is right there. If you have any problems or any needs, make sure you give him a call. He's a proud sponsor of the Indiana Lions. And we thank you, Maury, for all of your help with any plumbing issues or any drain issues that we may have. So make sure you all give him a call and tell him that Gio from the Indiana Lions sent you. for the newest fashions that we have with the Indiana Lions? Are you looking for the jersey for your favorite Indiana Lions player? Well, come on down to the locker room here in Danville. They make all of the Lions clothing, and they have a lot of things to offer, from hoodies to jerseys to everything. Visit the locker room today.
Yeah, Kiwanis, it's a global organization. It's a not-for-profit. So Kiwanis is dedicated to changing the world one child at a time.
Yeah.
So here in Danville, we're business owners, we're teachers, we're parents, we're neighbors. We just come together and we provide events for kids.
So check out Kiwanis and come on down to Moki's every first and third Tuesday and change lives one child at a time.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa, my goodness.
122.60 for Penn. What a swim. Six of them.
It is a 3-point advantage here for Indiana, and it has been a competitive half already. A 9-0 run to start the half for Indiana, followed by a 9-0 run for Clarksville. And now Indiana just trying to keep scraping ahead as they try to get their second region championship in franchise history. Alongside Antoine Wynn, I'm Kurt Darling. Jackson Stone back at the line. Again, he already committed another foul. He now has 4, but now he's trying to get his 8 points here.
Yes, he is. Jackson Stone, he does all the dirty work. He doesn't mind getting dirty.
And it gets so quiet here, you can hear a pen drop in front of this hometown crowd here in Danville. Again, Jackson Stone, a mid-season addition to this Indiana roster with the departure of a few players. And he has certainly made the most of his opportunity here, and so have the Indiana Lions with him. With a hand in his face, Moore misses a long three-pointer. It hits the rafters, and an automatic turnover back to Indiana. And there is Tremont Moore. So far has 7 points for Clarksville.
A 5-point ball game. Got a mismatch.
Here's Tillman trying to force his way inside. Baseline jumper for Stone. He knows how to hit that shot. A little too strong, though, that time.
Yeah, Tillman has to go up with that. You have a mismatch.
Bernie working in on Heidelberg. A little bit of a mismatch on him.
Nice
and
pass.
Wide open underneath is Dickerson.
You have to take advantage of your
Under 7 to go. And now Campbell, he has yet to score here in this half. He steps back for a 3, but he's going to draw the foul on Dickerson right there.
Yeah, he set Dickerson up. Boy, he's a crafty, savvy veteran.
He certainly knows how to get people in the right place to get him at the foul stripe. Let's take a look at this again. Stepping up, just a little bit of body contact there, and that's all you really need to justify falling over if you're Gerald Campbell. So here's 3 foul shots here coming up for the wily veteran. And he now has 18 points.
Yeah, 3 shots.
These would certainly be 3 big ones here to get it back to a 6-point advantage. Campbell has missed 1 so far today. And he makes all 3.
Yeah, all 3. That's good.
3 big foul shots there by Gerald Campbell. 20 points for him, right at his season average. Bernie spinning inside on Stone. And a follow-up shot falls right there for Dickerson. Some second chance opportunities playing into the hands of the Phoenix here of late.
Yeah, the Lions have to do a better job of blocking out.
Campbell now one-on-one with Dickerson. Squeaking his way in. A nifty shot there by the veteran.
That puts Campbell over the 20 mark.
22 to be exact. Williams from the elbow, and he's short. That was actually Elijah McCoy into the ball game for the first time today. Here is T. Williams. Ahead to Campbell again, working on Dickerson, squeaking inside, throws up the shot, and he's going to draw a foul there on Bernie, it looks like. No, they're actually going to get Dickerson for his second.
Yeah, Gerald, he knows how to get those fouls, I tell you.
Certainly a time to slow things down as well. It looks like they're going to call the foul on the floor, so this is not going to be foul shots. But it's still a fresh 24 here for the Lions. Campbell double teamed along the baseline. Still working his way in.
Oh.
Gets a shot to fall. Looks like
I'm surprised they didn't call it off.
Looks like
foul on Gerald.
Smith looks like he took a little elbow to the jaw right there from Campbell, and a jump ball is called on the subsequent loose ball. And take a look at this. Yeah, a little bit of a knock right there to the jaw of,
I'm surprised.
of Smith.
They didn't call that.
And there you see official Rob Wan keeping some order, though, as well after the fact. Smith on the elbow. Into the corner, Rivers left wide open, and he hits it. And that is going to be a 2-point shot. His foot was on the line.
Four-point ball game.
Williams now to Tillman outside. Heidelberg left open off the front of the iron. That would have been a big shot. Oh, and they're going to get another foul on Jackson Stone going for the rebound. That is number 5 on him. And remember, you get 6 fouls in the ABA. But again, after that 6th foul, you don't foul out, but you give an extra free throw to the player who was offended.
You know, Jackson, he's going to make you pay.
McCoy loads up from behind the arc.
They have to get Jackson out, though. They have to get him out because you don't want to hurt the team.
And it looks like you'll have Kendrick Lee step in here at the next possession. Meanwhile, looks like we have an Alex Brown sighting along the sideline. We'll get to that in a moment. Heidelberg outside to Williams. Fakes inside, tries to draw the contact, and he does. That'll be number 3 on Dickerson. And there's Tracy Harris kind of throwing back the mocking a little bit there of Andre Dickerson here. He was not happy with that foul shot, and you saw Tracy Harris throw his arms up as well. Meanwhile, Williams misses the front end of these 2 foul shots, and here you'll see Jackson Stone check out of the ball game. Kendrick Lee, the former Brownsburg Bulldog, checking back in.
So you saw Alex Brown?
He was running down the sideline. Meanwhile, the second foul shot goes for Scooty Walker. Outside, McCoy tries again from deep, and he hits nothing but air, and it bounces out of bounds.
Yeah, the Lions can't get separation from Clarksville.
And hopefully they can try and figure out what that separation may or may not be as we talk things over here at the under 4 timeout. Indiana, once again, only on top by 2. They have led since the early going in this first quarter. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is
God! There you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Lyons' way.
Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds remaining. taken. And an and one. Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa. My goodness.
122-6-0 for Penn. What a swim. Six of them.
Shot at the buzzer. Got it! She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Brady. Hello. Did it again. Hello. Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello. There we go.
Stokes throws in, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Well, there you see Alex Brown in the huddle. Of course, the newly signed Lebanon Leprechaun asking Coach Tyrone Brown, I got my shoes in my bag. I'm ready to go. But he's on the sideline here right now to support his team through this one. T. Williams going right to the rim off of the timeout.
That was nice. He challenged a shot blocker in Jamario Rivers.
Certainly would like to see Alex Brown, though, in this one. He does add a whole new dimension when he's on the floor.
Yes, he does. He changes people's mind about coming into the paint.
Dickerson getting inside on Tillman. Doesn't get the foul call there, and that is going to be Dickerson with another basket.
Yeah, Dickerson is a solid basketball player.
6 quick points for him in this quarter.
And we have a 2-point ball game.
It's been like that a lot here today as Campbell wrestles his way inside.
Jump
ball called. And the possession arrow favors Indiana. That's going to be a turnover for Clarksville. They're 7th.
Tyrone Brown's all the way down here at Clarksville bench.
Saying, hey, let's get everything in order, guys. 24 points now for Gerald Campbell after that last basket. Working inside again. And a little bit of a swat there by Jamario Rivers. It goes out of bounds, and it will stay with Indiana.
It's going to take 40-plus for Gerald Campbell for the Lions to win.
It'll take a lot. Every piece of real estate they can muster here because Clarksville is not making it easy. Meanwhile, before the shot, we had a foul on the floor here. It's going to be against Clarksville. Here you see, you had a couple players running right into Jamario Rivers there as they were going for the setup there on the inbound.
Wow. It's a collision.
Demarius Smith picking up his 3rd foul here as we'll have a couple substitutions. And now we will see Zach Norfleet check in for the first time here today for Clarksville. That'll get Dickerson out of the ball game. Here's Campbell with it.
Campbell's got that ball in a string.
Going behind the back is he through the double team. Back the other way. Nothing there. Tillman can't quite get the putback. And here comes Birney. Birney working in on Tillman outside to Norfleet. He loads it up from behind the arc just off the front of the iron. But again, another offensive rebound is going to likely pay off some dividends here for Clarksville as Demarius Smith will go to the line.
Clarksville's they rebound the basketball very well, especially on the offensive end. And nobody from the Lions are blocking out for this not to happen. You have to find a body, put a body on someone.
That's about the 5th or 6th offensive rebound for Demarius Smith alone here in this contest as Smith banks away the front end. And here we'll see Eric Messer into the ball game for the first time for Indiana. Heidelberg will take a seat. Eric Messer, he can add some shooting prowess from behind the arc whenever he is on.
Yeah, Messer is a high energy type player, so he's going to go get the 50-50 balls for the Lions.
Demarius Smith now in double figures. Here is Williams going coast to coast and blocked at the rim by Rivers. But they may get Rivers with a little bit of contact. It's either that or it's actually going to be Demarius Smith picking up his 4th.
Did you see the screen that Gerald set on Bernie?
I did not, but I'm sure it was a little bit stiff right there by Campbell.
Yeah. Bernie didn't see him. Nobody called it out.
And Williams there with a pretty big miss on the front end. Here it is. Right there at midcourt.
Yeah.
And Williams going 1 of 2. He is now 3 of 6 at the charity stripe today.
The Lions have to get a stop. They can't keep trading baskets with Clarksville.
Bernie fakes out Campbell. Nifty pass outside and Moore can't take advantage. Loose ball corralled by Campbell. And now Bernie is riding Campbell all the way down the sideline, meandering his way in, and he coughs it up.
They have the numbers. Clarksville had the numbers.
And now Campbell's slow to get back on defense. Indiana now playing with only 4 players. Still Kendrick Lee with a big steal. Oh, and there's a Clarksville player down. He is hurt. That is Rivers. There is Messer. Can't get the shot to fall the other end. Lee back the other way, and Rivers is still down. Clarksville playing with only 4 players right now on defense. Messer outside for a 3, a big shot, and now it'll be a stoppage of play here as Jamario Rivers is down on the near side of the floor. You could see in the background there of that shot, and he is not getting up right now.
I didn't see what happened.
Looked like he might be holding his knee or maybe his arm. I can't quite tell, but you see the Indiana Lions training staff now coming out here to the aid of Jamario Rivers. That was a pretty hard spill that he took. And it looks like it is indeed a knee here. And with the kind of spill that looked like right there, that does not look very good. And there you see Coach Dante Williams for Clarksville coming out here along with the rest of the Clarksville bench here to...
Do we have a replay on that?
Okay. So we couldn't quite get a shot of what exactly happened right there, but still it was a pretty hard spill that Jamario Rivers took. And he has still not been able to get up. We'll go ahead and take a timeout here while they tend to the aid of Jamario Rivers. Indiana on top by 7 here on the ISC Sports Network.
Still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable. Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is good.
There you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Lyons' way.
Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
There you see the Indiana Lions bench. Meanwhile, Jamario Rivers having to be helped to the sideline by his fellow teammates here for Clarksville. He is not able to walk under his own power. That is not a good sign. But still, he's at least up and moving as the Indiana Lions training staff here offering their aid to do what they can. Meanwhile, Clarksville still has a game to play. They're going to put Dickerson back into the ball game in relief of Jamario Rivers.
But I've seen stranger things. I've seen guys come back and play on a sprained knee. Wish that they were the best for Rivers.
Kendrick Lee here with 2 steals back-to-back. And there you see Coach Tyrone Brown cheering on his player right there for the good defensive effort.
Tyrone Brown is very animated.
So Kendrick Lee with 2 steals here on the last 2 defensive possessions. And Indiana now has a little bit of an opening here. Eric Messer hit a big 3 on the last timeout. Here's Tillman Back up top here to Campbell. Campbell back outside. Messer loading up from deep again. Almost had that to go, but Williams is there for the putback.
See, with Rivers out of the basketball game, it opens up the middle now because he can change shots.
Tipped up, another turnover almost forced by Indiana. And now Williams sweeps it inside. Good take there by Tremont Moore.
Six-point ball game.
Into the final 15 here of quarter number 3. Williams, Euro step inside. Williams has done the bulk of the scoring here for Indiana this quarter as Norfleet misses point blank. And that'll take us to the end of quarter number 3. Indiana on top by 9 after a competitive third quarter, to say the least. One more to go to decide the championship here on the ISC Sports Network.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds remaining.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it.
That's the finish. You get a layup to take it. And an and one. Out of here. Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa. My goodness.
122-6-0 for Penn. Oh, what a swim. Six of them.
Shot at the buzzer. She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello. Did it again. Hello. Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello. There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow. This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Has it, leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. So that was going to be a highlight reel.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
One more quarter to decide who will be the Midwest Region champion here in the ABA. Indiana has led from the start. It is 86-77 with the Lions on top of the Phoenix. Alongside Antoine Wynn, I'm Kurt Darling. Just 12 minutes left to go here, Antoine, to decide who's going to be hoisting that trophy here at the end.
Yes, this is the fourth quarter, so everybody has to come out and be ready to go because we have a 9-point ball game.
Jackson Stone back into the ball game, and Gerald Campbell is going to be on the bench for the first time here today. He has played every single minute until this one here in this contest.
I called it, didn't I?
Meanwhile, yes. Clarksville with another oopage right there to Demarius Smith.
But the Lions cannot afford to play, can't trade baskets with Clarksville. They have to get some stops, and they have to be efficient on offense.
Williams outside to Messer again with 9 to shoot. He pulls up from the elbow, just off the mark, but Stone with a big offensive rebound. When he's not in foul trouble, he is deadly. Bernie, pull-up J from the elbow, doesn't fall. He gets his own rebound, kicks it back out, and the shot still doesn't fall that time from Moore.
Good rebound by Williams. Give it to Jackson. You got to give it to him.
Jackson Stone with some help for Williams. Too strong on that three-pointer. Moore trying again from the corner, and he drains it.
Down to a 6-point ball game now.
A steal, that's going to be a 3D rule. It should be. And indeed it is. For Clarksville, Williams underneath, back out, and a 3D rule converted right there by Monte Burney.
Wow. The Lions are throwing lazy passes. You cannot do that.
And that is going to force Tyrone Brown here to take a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout here taken by the Lions after a not-so-great start here to start this fourth quarter, as Indiana now only ahead by 3.
As I've been saying this whole basketball game, Clarksville, they are not going away. And they just lost one of their better players, and they're still playing hard and still efficient.
So now Tyrone Brown reminding his team exactly of that here. Telling them to settle down as, again, Indiana has only trailed once. It was a 4-2 trail that Indiana had at the very beginning of this game ever since the Lions had been playing out in front.
If I'm the Lions, Rivers is out of the basketball game. They really don't have a shot blockers or anything of that nature. I'm going to the bucket. I'm not going to rely on that jump shot.
And Scooty Walker set to check back in at the next dead ball. Lee underneath Tillman, wide open, contested though is Williams.
It's a nice basket.
21 points now for T. Williams. Kendrick Lee, tough defense there on Moore, and Moore loses the handle. He throws it out of bounds. And here is Mike Pugh into the ball game. He is going to take it out for Indiana. Williams feeds it inside to Tillman.
That's all day right there.
Tillman double team, back out. Lee in the corner, just off the mark, but Tillman with a big offensive rebound.
One more.
Williams fakes it outside at Tillman. Into Lee again from the corner, this time still just off the iron. And Williams going to scream it up court, loses the handle. 3D rule here for Indiana. Messer takes it in, a three-point basket.
I don't know how he got that ball. He came up with it. He always makes things happen.
And the first 3D rule converted here for Indiana. What a game it has been. Burney in the corner, step back on the fadeaway.
Man, that dude has ice in his veins.
That cuts it back to a 5-point deficit. Pugh going in now on Moore, gets some help from Tillman. Corner, Messer, short of the iron.
If they score here, I will get a timeout.
And Burney's off the front. Pushing it ahead, Tillman in transition. Why not? Single hand flush for Leon Tillman.
That was very nice.
9 points for the big man.
That was a left-handed dunk. Very nice. The Lions have to get stops.
Right down the lane goes Smith, and they're going to get a foul here on Tillman, and that'll take us to the under 8 timeout. As you take a look at this replay for Tillman. Left-handed dunk.
Yes, very nice.
Ambidextrous is he. 95-88, Indiana still ahead of Clarksville here on the ISC Sports Network.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is
God, there you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds taken. And an and one. Fly ball. Out of here. Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa. My goodness.
122-6-0 for Penn. What a swim. Six of them.
Shot at the buzzer. She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello. Did it again. Hello. Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello. There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Well, there's a good sight if you're a Clarksville fan. That is Jamario Rivers. He had to be helped off of the floor earlier today with a knee injury. He is now walking just fine, it appears, and he is going to give it a go over the last 7 minutes and 48 seconds here with some hardware on the line. And Antoine Wynn, needless to say, when you have a lot at stake, you have to have that kind of effort from a player like that.
Yes, that says a lot about his character, that, you know, he's injured, but he decided he'd come back. He knows how much he means to this team. And just by him being out there makes a difference. He don't have to really do a whole lot, but just his presence makes a difference.
So here is Demarius Smith at the line, and he makes both foul shots to cut it back to a 5-point deficit. Some full court pressure here from Clarksville. Here's Lee with a little bit of an opening, and he turns it over.
That was a good defense.
Bernie
overcommitted.
He loses the handle, and they turn it over.
Yeah, he overcommitted. When you get in that painted area, you have to have your mind made up.
Walker off to Mike Pugh.
What do you call?
And it is going to be an offensive foul.
That's what I thought.
So that's going to be the second on Mike Pugh, and that is another empty possession for Indiana. And Antoine, Indiana cannot afford to have too many empty possessions here at this point in the contest.
No, they can't. So I would say probably at the 6-minute mark, I would get Gerald Campbell back in.
Campbell has not played a minute here in this fourth quarter. Here's Smith working in on Tillman. Good defense there by the big man.
Because you want Campbell back in the basketball game to control the pace of the game and let him make the decisions.
Walker, too strong off the glass. That's now 3 empty possessions here for Indiana.
Yeah, I would get Gerald back in quick.
Outside, a big three-pointer, a splash there by Tremont Moore.
2-point ball game. He has to put him in.
And there you go. It's going to be Campbell and Heidelberg checking in at the next dead ball.
Yes. There's one thing about Campbell, he can control the pace of the basketball game.
Messer with a hand in his face, too strong off the front of the iron.
They can tie it or take the lead on this possession.
Clarksville has not led since early on in the first quarter. Bernie inside on Tillman. Kicking it back out. Into the corner. Along the baseline. Nothing doing there. Putback still doesn't go. Loose ball finally corralled by Lee. And a technical foul going to be called on somebody here.
On Rivers.
It's going to be Rivers. Tracy Harris not having any of it right there with Jamario Rivers. Looks like he had a few things to say to him.
Let me see.
Rivers fighting for the rebound right there. He wanted a foul on Tillman, it looks like, or somebody, and then he said something and kept going at Tracy Harris. Well, now we've lost the scoreboard here.
Uh-oh.
So we had the technical foul, and then the scoreboard's gone out.
Above us is still working.
But we have one half of the scoreboard going.
Still got this one. Right above us.
And so it looks like part of the building has lost power here. We have one scoreboard out, but one scoreboard on. So we're going to have to figure out how this will be played out here. And it looks like we're going to continue playing maybe with only one scoreboard. And so there you see.
Right there.
So yeah, we still have one scoreboard alive here inside of Bostic Gym, but one looks like it's going to be out here for the remainder of the ball game unless they figure out how to remedy something here. So it looks like both teams are going to go to their respective benches to see if they can try and figure out what they're going to do here from here on out. And they're going to check the scoreboard here at the scorer's table as well.
We're not having bad weather outside, are we?
Oh, yeah, you see the sunshine coming in off the floor and up against the wall as well here through the front doors. And Tracy Harris is talking with the officials here right now at the scorer's table. So there's the young cheerleaders here for the Indiana Lions, keeping everybody entertained while we figure out what the technical difficulties are. And we'll go ahead and take a quick timeout here. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
That last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes.
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score. Fall means football, and on the ISC, we've got you covered all season long. Catch our broadcast live on television on MyNDTV 23 and Comcast 81, as well as streaming on .com. With a subscription to ISC for only $4.99 a month, you get access to our entire library, viewable anytime, anywhere, on our website or on the ISC app. Don't miss a single broadcast. ISC Sports Network. Football lives here. The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
3, 2, 1.
Has the first dunk in the building from Zoya. Waits, Waddell finishes.
And lays it in.
There is right now the play of the game. Better finish. Good. We might see that on plays of the week. Great feed. The finish. Spin, win, three. Bury it in the lane. No, gun, yes. Stop. Whoa, what a play. Flying in. McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is good. There you go. Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it.
Here's the finish. You get a layup taken and an and one.
Well, the discussion's still going on here inside the Bostic Gymnasium as players try to stay loose. 5:57 left to go here in the fourth quarter. It is a 2-point ball game in favor of Indiana. However, we have a scoreboard out. And now the question is whether or not to continue play with only one scoreboard. Now, the good news is we have power to one of the shot clocks on the other side of the floor, which was certainly good. It just flashed a couple of lights, so we may have a shot clock coming back here, and I think that might be the big question right now here, and we have a scoreboard back.
There we go.
There we go, because now that was what I was getting to, is that might be the question here, because it'd certainly be hard to play with a shot clock on one end of the floor when you're trying to score on the other with nothing on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an advantage for one team. So glad everything is back on right now, because otherwise they would have had to cancel the basketball game.
They would have had to do something or agree to something outrageous either way.
Right. Something I could think of then is probably cut the shot clock both off, cut the one down, this one off, and just play straight up basketball.
And so there's a good sign right there to have the shot clock and the clock back on the far end of the court. Meanwhile, before all of that went down, we had a technical foul assessed. It was against Jamario Rivers for getting a little mouthy there with crew chief Tracy Harris. And so this puts Mike Pugh at the line. And needless to say here, Antoine Wynn, you need any point that you can get in this one.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned several times, Clarksville is a good team, and they're not going anywhere. So you have to value every possession.
And so Mike Pugh makes one of two. That puts it back to a 3-point advantage. And finally, we see Heidelberg as well as Gerald Campbell check back in for the final 6 minutes.
Yes. And again, the offense should run through Gerald Campbell. Gerald Campbell should have the basketball and dictating the offense. You have to give it to him.
Heidelberg trying to find his opening. Instead, gets some help from Campbell. And Heidelberg along the baseline with a little bit of an opening.
That was nice. 6-point ball game. Again, they have to get a stop here.
It's now 4 players in double figures scoring here for Indiana.
Cannot trade baskets.
Campbell on the elbow here with Smith. Smith loses the handle. Pugh going hard to the floor. It goes out of bounds. And they're going to say Rob Wan was right in front of it. He saw it.
That's good help.
But so did Bernard Weatherly. And he says it went out of bounds on Indiana.
It actually did go out on Pugh. That's a good call.
Take a look at it right here. Touched, and then it went off the back there.
Yep. It's a good call.
And so that will keep the ball here with Clarksville with 8 to shoot, but still heck of a defensive effort there by Mike Pugh.
Yes, Mike went hard on that one.
Here's Rivers from the elbow. Big rebound by Tillman. Pugh coming up top and leaving it now for Tillman. And here's Heidelberg, who will reset the offense. 5 minutes left to go in this one.
Got 7 seconds. 5, 4.
Walker has to get a shot off here. Steps back, fires, just hits the iron to avoid a shot clock violation. But another empty possession, and heck of a sequence there to Denarius Smith.
He went upstairs to get that one. He went to the 3rd floor.
Still Indiana holds the lead. Campbell working in here on Smith. Shake and bake inside. He'll draw the foul. And that might be Bernie. No, it's going to be Smith, and that will be number 5 on Demarius Smith.
Every time the Lions get a big lead, Clarksville gets right back into it. The Lions have never separated themselves from Clarksville the whole game.
In fact, they have only led by as many as 11. Every time it has hit that benchmark,
yes,
Clarksville has gone on a run.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, the sun is shining right in on the hoop.
These last 4:23, it's going to just come down to who wants it more.
And Campbell misses the back end. Still a one-possession game here.
That was a deep
Moore
three.
From way behind the arc, just off to the right.
So now if I'm the Lions, I'm eating the time up now. I have the lead.
Still 10 to shoot here. Campbell getting in underneath. A big shot in the end one for Gerald Campbell. 27 points for him today.
Yes.
And that was a big-time shot, as that'll take us to the under 4 timeout. Gerald Campbell will have an and one here after this final break. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa. My goodness.
122-6-0 for Penn. What a swim. Six of them.
Shot at the buzzer. Got it! She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello. Did it again. Hello. Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello. There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Has it, leaps the man, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County. Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
6-point advantage for Indiana in the waning moments of this region championship game here for the Midwest. Alongside Antoine Wynn, I'm Kurt Darling. As Reggie Miller once put it here, Coach, it is winning time. The question is, who for?
Absolutely. The Lions have to come out here and take care of these last possessions. You know, they can't take a play off. They have to make sure that they're very efficient on both ends.
So it'll be Gerald Campbell here going with an and one opportunity after hitting a big lay-in before the break. And this could put Indiana back out ahead by 7.
Yeah, one thing about Clarksville has the type of players that can get back into a basketball game very quickly.
And Campbell has now only missed 2 foul shots today. He has certainly been efficient. Rivers wide open underneath. 16 points for Jamario Rivers here today.
See, if I was Heidelberg, I would have went right past Rivers. He's got a mismatch.
Heidelberg outside to Tillman. Here's Pugh from the wing. A big three-pointer from Mike Pugh.
That was good.
Pugh has been with the team the longest out of this roster. And now a whistle and a foul going to be called here on Indiana.
8-point ball game.
That's going to be Heidelberg picking up his second. Eight-point advantage. Tipped up, almost stolen by Scooty Walker, and indeed it was, but he stepped on the baseline in doing so. Still disrupting on defense, 13 to shoot here for Clarksville. In the corner, Rivers bounce ahead to Williams, outside, wide open, and an air ball there by Smith.
Take time off the clock. Take time off the clock.
Tillman underneath to Pugh. He's blocked from behind by Rivers. Oh, and Rivers looks like he tweaked that knee again.
Yeah.
Clarksville only playing with 4 players on offense, and now we have a whistle. And looks like it may be a foul here, but again, you see Jamario Rivers.
Yeah, he
tweaked
laboring.
that knee, and we don't see any signs of them making any substitutions right now here, so we'll see how this plays out.
I don't think the coach even knows.
And Rivers is staying in the ball game.
Wow.
And Rivers still moving around, though.
I guess he figures the damage is already done.
Williams outside. Off the mark, a rebound there for Rivers. And this time Bernie tries it from deep. He too is off the mark. Here come the Lions.
You have to slow it down, man.
Underneath Pugh, nearly turns it over, and it gets back outside to Heidelberg.
You gotta use the time, the clock. Take time off the clock.
Final 2 minutes. And a reach-in foul going to be called on Williams. That'll be his third.
You fouled him, Williams.
And Williams not happy either with the officials or himself there. Either way, it's going to be a fresh 24 here for Indiana.
They just took Rivers out the basketball game.
And he is visibly in pain right now. And we got a timeout being called. And Tyrone Brown not happy with Rob Wan right there because he had given the ball to Mike Pugh for the inbound and not acknowledged the timeout from Dante Williams. And so Rob Wan,
my fault,
having a little bit of a word right there with Coach Tyrone Brown, but either way, it's going to be a timeout awarded to Clarksville. So each team with 2 timeouts remaining here in the final 2 minutes. Indiana ahead by 7. So now if you're Clarksville, the time is really starting to run out here for you guys really to make a couple of consistent shots and possessions here. After all, it is a fast-paced game here in the ABA, but you still got to make them go.
Yes, the Lions have an 8-point game. It's an 8-point game, so they have to take their time, use the shot clock, and use much time as possible because Clarksville has to come at them. They don't have to go at Clarksville. So they have to be mindful that they get a rebound. They don't have to push it. Just get it across half court and run your sets. And you'll be victorious.
So both teams on their respective sidelines here as it's the final 2 minutes. A region championship on the line. Again, this could be Indiana's second region championship in franchise history. They last did it back in 2021 as part of the North Central region. Gerald Campbell on that squad, along with several others. There you see the banner.
And the players too.
And the players as well, trying to add a few more as well here inside of Bostic Gymnasium. Of course, this is a gym that the Indiana Lions helped refurbish to make their home here at the Danville Parks and Recreation Center.
So use the shot clock. Give it to Gerald.
Walker playing some keep away here, works his way inside. Finger roll doesn't go. Tillman can't get the end one, but a big offensive rebound for him. He'll go to the line for 2. And now Indiana has to make their free throws.
Yeah, they need to make their free throws. The game is the Lions. All they have to do is take the basketball game and use some of the clock on the game clock.
First trip to the foul line today here for Leon Tillman.
Yeah,
he has 9 points here today so far.
Yeah, Tillman's played very well today.
He's certainly been big on the rebounding game. But he misses both foul shots there.
So the Lions have to stop the ball.
Here's Moore, back up top to Smith. Heidelberg harassing him. Moore unloads from deep, and that's a big three-pointer there for the Phoenix.
Yeah, they don't need that. It's two-possession game.
Third three-pointer made by Moore here in this quarter. Walker screaming down the court. Can't get the lay-in to go.
You have to take time off the clock.
It's only a 5-point game. In the corner, Bernie from the corner. Big three-pointer by the Phoenix. That cuts it to a 2-point game.
I just mentioned you have to take time off the clock. You don't have to be in a hurry.
1 minute to go. Campbell working inside. Big shot hit there by the veteran.
So they have to get a stop here.
It's still a one-possession game. Campbell, hard defense here. Inside, Bernie underneath, gets the and one. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
This could cut it to the closest it's been since the first quarter.
Wow. That was a nice back door right there.
And Scooty Walker's going to come out of the ball game here. We're going to put T. Williams back in. Indiana was ahead by 7 less than a minute ago. And Bernie with a big miss.
Wow.
Shot clock still on. And a timeout called here by Indiana. They still have 1 remaining.
This game is closer than it should be.
But still, this is the story of this game here, Antoine Wynn. Indiana gets out ahead, and then Clarksville immediately comes right back to keep it competitive.
As I had mentioned earlier, they had the game in the bag. Not saying they're not going to win it, but again, it shouldn't be this tough because use the clock. The clock is your friend. Use the shot clock. They shouldn't be shooting a basketball unless it's 2 or 3 seconds on the clock. You shouldn't be shooting any earlier than that.
Or at this juncture, at least force the other team to foul.
Yes. I mean, that's fool's gold to try to drive the ball to the basket, trying to get a foul or whatever. Keep the ball on the perimeter, and you make your move with about 3 or 4 seconds to go. Because eventually, Clarksville will have to foul. But now, Clarksville can go down here and play solid defense, and they can actually, if they get a stop, they can go down here and go for the win.
So on the floor for Indiana, Mike Pugh, Leon Tillman, Jordan Heidelberg, T. Williams, and Gerald Campbell.
And there's 17 on the shot clock. So use every bit of that 17.
Bernie on the floor for Clarksville, as well as Smith, Dickerson, and Moore and Williams. Huge possession here for the Lions.
Use all the shot clock.
Heidelberg facing off the double team, gets it off to Pugh. 5 seconds to shoot. Pugh unloads from deep, just off the mark. And a big possession coming up for Clarksville. Instead, it is going to be a foul on Indiana. They are going to make Clarksville earn this at the charity stripe.
I think it's on the side. Yeah, it's on the side.
And then, so that was probably a good foul there by Pugh to let Indiana reset on defense. Shot clock is off here.
Oh, man.
Clarksville can hold for the final shot, or at least force overtime, and Clarksville is going to use their last timeout.
Wow.
Talk about a stressful situation.
Yes, it is. That was a bad possession for the Lions. Bad possession. Gerald Campbell did not touch the basketball. You have to go through your best player. Let him make the decision. He had a mismatch. Go down low to him. So if I'm the Lions, I'm telling the Lions, play solid defense. Do not give up a three-point shot. So if I'm Clarksville, I'm on the road, I'm going for the win. I'm going for the win because Jamario is out. If you go overtime, the chances are you're going to lose. I'm going for the win.
Indiana has not played an overtime game at all this year.
And I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. They have nothing to lose. They're playing with house money.
Final 11 seconds. Clarksville likely with the last possession here of regulation. It all comes down to this, a Midwest Region Championship on the line. Will Indiana survive or will the Phoenix overcome? We're about to find out.
Time will tell.
Smith on the inbound. Outside, up top, that's a two-point shot, doesn't fall, into the rebound, into the hands, Indiana basketball!
Wow. Wow. I'm very shocked that he shot that basketball.
That was Dickerson with a two-point basket from the top of the key.
Wow.
And it was off the front of the iron, and T. Williams with the rebound of the day.
I am very shocked that he shot that. I would have thought number one would have taken a shot.
And that is Monte Burney, number one. And now Indiana facing off with some full court pressure. And Clarksville is going to foul. Jordan Heidelberg will have to inbound it here still, as Indiana's not yet in the bonus.
Wow.
Still a two-point ball game. Pugh to inbound it, has Campbell. Campbell stays along the sideline and is fouled immediately there by Smith. And again, one more foul to give here for Clarksville.
Wow. This is a tremendous basketball game. This is what you want to see.
It has been hotly contested. Indiana has only ever led by as many as 11. Clarksville has only ever been able to get within 2, but have not led since the first quarter. Pugh has to inbound it, and he does so to Heidelberg. 2 seconds, 1.2 left, and Heidelberg will go to the line for a one-and-one opportunity here. He can put this away with two free throws.
2 free throws is over. Because if he misses one or whatever, they're going to call a timeout and get the ball at half court. Speaking of Clarksville, no, I think it's still 3 points.
One more here. Heidelberg nearly loses it, but still that time expires, and that is going to do it. And the Indiana Lions are your 2023 Midwest Region champions.
That was a great victory by the Lions.
A hard-fought victory by the Lions. Tough down the stretch, and the Lions get their second region championship in franchise history. And going through the handshake line, Scooty Walker was one of the first ones to go over to the sideline and congratulate a heck of an effort by the Clarksville Phoenix. Antoine Wynn, what a game here to decide who will be representing the Midwest region in the ABA playoffs.
This is a great basketball game, and as I mentioned, I knew it was going to come down to the wire because both of these teams mirror each other, and they play each other 3 times. So the Lions finally win at home. They normally win on each other's place, so it could have went either way. It's a great game, and Clarksville need to keep their head up. They played a tremendous basketball game, being one of their players were down.
Of course, celebrating at midcourt, they're going to get a picture and everything as well. And Antoine Wynn, and in fitting fashion, Gerald Campbell puts up the 30-burger tonight. 30 points exactly for Campbell, 21 for T. Williams, along with 12 points off the bench from Scooty Walker. An all-around victory for the Indiana Lions today inside of Bostic Gymnasium.
And they needed every point they got from everybody because, like I said, look at the final score, 107-105. So, I mean, this game was for the taking for the Clarksville.
And they get the shirts and everything. So with that, Antoine Wynn, Indiana still has one more game to play in the ABA playoffs, but for now, that does it for us here. A pleasure working with you this season, my friend.
Likewise, I had fun this season.
Final score again, 107-105. The Indiana Lions are the 2023 Midwest Region champions. Thanks for joining us here on the ISC Sports Network.
Go Lions.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is caught.
There you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Lyons' way.
That is